And there came a day unlike any other where YouTubers got together and created a channel proudly presented by ComX. They called it AussieVerse. I am OmniBeau, joined by Mark, Grodd, Watson. I love the pose, mate.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm very good.
If you do like our content, please consider giving it a like and subscribing, because we do want to get to that 400 subscriber giveaway where some random lucky person will be drawn live on a show to prove it's all on the up and up, and they will get a $100 Amazon gift card. You can find us on Instagram at AussieVerse Comics Collectors, and our graphic designer and visual editor is A51 Designs. Go check them out on Instagram as well. What's been happening in your world, Mark?
Not much, just work. Mother's Day yesterday, and keeping busy. Freecomic Day on Saturday, which we will talk about, I guess.
Yes, we certainly will.
Without
further ado, let's bring in the man who we owe a lot to, not just us, but the entire freaking country, because he created a glorious place where you can check out all of your Australian comic book needs. You want to know about comic writers, comic artists, comic Kickstarters. This man is the king of comics. Ladies and gentlemen, Sizzle Shane Syddall.
Woo! That was an amazing intro. I'm going to learn to do that.
It's long overdue, mate. I think we were playing a game of chicken with each other where I waited to ask you, you waited to ask me, until finally I caved and I said, come on the show.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. Well, before we get into what ComX is about and all about the world of Shane, let's go into some comic book news, hey?
Sure.
Excellent. Mark, have you got anything first?
Well, this was not comic book news, but I had seen an article about Tom Cruise going to reprise his role as Les Grossman in Tropical Thunder 2.
What?
I know. I didn't even realize there was another movie, Tropical Thunder movie, coming out. But apparently, you remember Tom Cruise's character in it.
Yeah, mate. I've seen that movie a million times. I love it.
Yeah, same here. And apparently, because he's doing Mission Impossible, and now he just did. What else did he just do? Top Gun. So yeah, and then they asked him, "Is there anything else you're reprising?" And he said, "Tropical Thunder."
Wow.
They've asked him to. So
I wonder if that means all of them are coming back. Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr.
Well, it's Ben Stiller's movie, isn't it? Did he write and direct it? So, well, I'm all in for it, even if half the cast comes back.
Yeah. In fact, it'll be funny to see what Robert Downey Jr. has mutated into in this one.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
The Australian accent was bad enough.
Well, it's going to be interesting, actually, because there was some controversy last year. Like, the movie's how old now, but because of this, how do I say it? The movement in society these days.
Nice.
People didn't want that. They wanted that movie removed because of Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal, which I wholeheartedly disagree with.
Yeah, well, I had the time, and I still do now. I just kind of find it funny. But if people want to take offence to it, that's their own business. It's above my pay grade, so I thought it was funny.
There are plenty of things out there that I've thought is still hilarious. That I want. Faulty Towers, for example. There are certain episodes with that they don't want it on anymore. And yeah, Dane, exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
But also, like you said, Mark, you can't really say what's right and what's wrong because people have the right to feel what they feel.
Yeah. So we wouldn't know how that would feel. I don't know. So I'm not in the place to tell people how they feel, but yeah.
Well, for those that saw Doctor Strange, no, we are not going to be talking about it. Don't worry. It's still too fresh. The one thing I do want to say is, and I hope this isn't a spoiler, I don't consider it one. It came out in the news and most people know it. The trailer that they showed before Doctor Strange. Avatar, The Way of Water, Avatar 2.
Oh,
That looks...
Yeah. I did see the trailer.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the first movie, but it looks great for movie cinematography and stuff like that. Like it looks like something. If you don't watch it in the movies, probably don't ever watch it, sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's my opinion, but yeah, it looks cool. I'm not sure what the plot would be. Didn't give any of that. What do you think?
Well, since the beginning, since they released the first one, James Cameron has always said they want to make 5 of them. So he's got a huge storyline played out. It's unfortunate that it's taken more than 15 years for the sequel to come out. However, I tend to think if it's taken this long for the second one to come out, it's got to be a good film, because I'd find it hard to believe it's not going to be a good film if it's taken so long for it to come out.
Yeah, I had no idea it'd been so long.
Yeah. I think it was 2009, maybe. I'm not sure exactly how long, but they're re-releasing the first one in cinemas. So no doubt that will once again take the #1 spot as the highest grossing movie of all time, which Avengers Endgame beat it. Avatar's coming back because there's a whole generation of kids out there that don't know what Avatar is. So that'll be interesting.
True.
That'll be interesting. I guess we should have actually probably started with this news, to be honest. It's definitely the biggest comic book news of the week, as sad as it is. We lost George Perez. That's 2 now gone in a matter of weeks. We all knew George Perez is he was going to be leaving us soon. I don't think we thought it was going to be this soon though. And it's amazing to see how much he's affected the comic book community. Outpouring of hearts out there.
Oh
Yeah.
Very sad news.
Yeah. I don't know. What's your favourite George Perez stuff out there? There's quite a lot.
Yeah, sure.
I'd probably say his Wonder Woman run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I've never actually read that, but I've heard nothing but great stuff, great things about that. I always loved his JLA Avengers. That always had a special place in my heart. And a lot of his DC stuff. Yeah. That's all I've really got to say about that.
Yeah. I'm pretty fresh to the comic book industry. I've only dived into a bit of older stuff. But yeah, Wonder Woman 1 stands out for me. But I do know the name because it's a legendary name.
Yeah.
So and I do know the face because it's a legendary face. So, and the T-shirts that he always wears,
Yeah. Well, onto some lighter news. It was Free Comic Book Day last week. Something that I did not participate in at all, which I don't know why. It just totally slipped my mind. Not until I saw a few videos on our friends' YouTube channels like Simple Simon. I saw you did a guest spot on that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Simon, for promoting AussieVerse. We really appreciate it, mate.
Mm.
What did you pick up for Free Comic Book Day?
Well, I only picked up a couple. So I picked up the Dark Crisis, the new Crises coming out. It was issue 0. So it's going to be the introduction to the new Crises coming out in DC because all the Justice League is dead, obviously, because the last Justice League issue was called Death of Justice League. So that's not a spoiler.
Yep.
Yeah, I picked up the Venom and Spider-Man, but I had a mate that I invited over who has a kid that's just massively into Spider-Man. So I told him, come over. Kids get show bags, get to meet like all the people that were dressed up in comic book characters. There was a really good dress up in Spider-Man and stuff like that. So he came over. The line was massive to get the comic books. It was coming out the door. So I go, here, take them. So, but yeah, it was quite an enjoyable day for the kid. I think he's only 3, Judo.
Oh, that's nice.
He was dressed up in Spider-Man. He had Spider-Man like gumboots. It was just amazing. And he got to meet Spider-Man, and he was all shy, hiding. But apparently, my mate, when I went home, because we joked about it, he's going to go home and brag about it. He went home and told his mum, he goes, I met Spider-Man, I met Batman. He goes, I chatted to him. I'm good friends with him now. Like, completely the opposite to what happened. So it was a good day. There was a sausage sizzle. I think it was a charity one, and Simon alluded to in his video, and go check that out. I forgot what the charity was for.
Well, if anybody does want to know, go check out Simple Simon's YouTube channel where he actually has the video.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really well put on by Mark. He's a little store owner in West Footscray, but I recommend any time to go down there and chat to Mark. He's really helpful, really good store man. The store's not massive, but you get great quality through him and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a good day. I enjoyed it. I was there for a couple of hours, so yeah.
Beauty. What about you, Shane? Did you celebrate Free Comic Book Day?
I did, but not in that way. I celebrated it by working and creating a free comic book of previews of ComX books, PDF on our site, which I'm going to be really rude and put it up there.
I got to admit, I loved that He-Man.
You saw me. I should have uploaded it. We could have shown everyone.
True. Maybe you can share the screen later and show people.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, out of Free Comic Book Day, I've got some news that out of these free comic books. So we've got Blade's daughter. First appearance of Blade's daughter, whose name is Bloodline. She first appears in the Avengers X-Men one-shot.
Oh, okay.
So that might be a key issue coming up. I know last year's Free Comic Book Day, when the symbiote virus was announced, that was going through the roof for a little while, and then it went all the way back down. But being Blade's daughter, you'd think that'd be a key issue at some point.
Any first appearance usually is, isn't it? At some point, depends how well it goes on, but a daughter sort of aspect. I mean, like, it's different if it's a villain. The villain can be done if it's not popular. But, yeah. I
wonder what her powers are, or how she differentiates from Blade, or is she exactly the same?
Yeah, that's a good question.
The one that I'm looking forward to the most is obviously the Spider-Man Venom issue, which I haven't read yet. I'm getting a copy from Comic Bookaroo. But apparently in that issue, the Red Goblin sort of comes back. Now, the Red Goblin, for those that don't know, was originally Norman Osborn merged with the Carnage symbiote, and he ended up bonding his son, his grandson, to a symbiote, and he was called the Goblin Child, with an E, Childe.
Okay.
So apparently in this one, Normie Osborn gets another symbiote with a different color scheme. So almost like the little Red Goblin's back. Spedsy.
Hey.
The The other bits of news that I've got in regards to Free Comic Book Day, let's see here. We have, okay, well, you know what? These don't have anything to do with Free Comic Book Day. This is just comic book news. Gwen Stacy had her own comic book series that was cancelled during COVID. It only went for about, I think, maybe 2 issues, and it was meant to go to like at least 6. They're bringing that back, but it's going to be a one-shot. So Gwen Stacy is coming back in a one-shot, and it's probably just to tell the rest of the tale. And the oddest bit of news that I have here, which I really need to read this article because I had to read the heading 3 times to make sure that I wasn't pulling something out of my other end. But in Marvel's Defenders series, which is called Defenders Beyond, there's going to be a new Phoenix. Now, I thought the last Phoenix that just happened was Echo. However, this new Phoenix is going to be Galactus's mum.
So that's still doing my head in.
Yeah.
Galactus has a mum.
Hey.
Now, is that odd that it came out on Mother's Day?
Of course.
I didn't even connect that.
Yeah, I didn't make that connection. I should have.
Yeah, it's really tough to picture Galactus with a mum or
it
a
is.
mother telling Galactus what to do or
Well, he's got a daughter.
eat all your veggies or
Get in the corner. I'll take all your worlds off you.
All right, let's go back to some comic book news a little later, ladies and gentlemen. For right now, I want to talk to Shane about his baby, ComX. For those that don't know, well, actually, let me rephrase that. For those that have been watching our shows regularly, you may have seen a little pop-up come up halfway during the show, something along the lines of where I say, and now a word from our sponsor.
This show is sponsored by the ComX shop. Check out comx.cx for all things ComX and find out what ComX is all about. Then head over to comx.shop to pick up a variety of Australian comics from multiple creators and publishers, all for one flat postage rate. We hope you enjoy the show.
Then,
Awesome.
then I pull this up, which covers you. Let's swap you around here. There you go. And whether you buy one comic, whether you buy 10 comics, it is one flat postage rate. So go nuts, ladies and gentlemen, and you won't have to charge more for shipping. There is no I in ComX.
I love it. I love it. You do this better than I do, and it's my thing. Jeez. I'm embarrassed.
Take it away, Shane.
Okay, well, probably I'll start right at the beginning. 3 years ago, I keep forgetting it's been that long. I was looking for comics for myself, and I was looking for comics to buy for my collection, like to fill some spots, and I was finding it very hard to find all the comic stores around Australia. So I decided to look for them all and make a little website, just a little website that would help everyone find all the comic stores around Australia. While I was doing that, I found out about events. I won't babble on too much. During the time I found out about all these comic events that happen around Australia, I found out about indie comics. Now, this is really embarrassing. I've been collecting comics since the 90s, the early 90s, the very early 90s, like 91, 90 itself, 90 or 91. I didn't know there was an indie scene. I had no idea until 3 years ago. And I was like, that's crazy. That's just, how could I not know about this? And I've been a comic fan since since the 80s. I just didn't start buying them myself until the 90s. I was reading them in the 80s. So well, this is ridiculous. This is wrong. So that's how ComX was born. It was me going nuts. Someone needs to let everyone know there is Australian indie out here. It's not just what's in the comic shop, mainstream stuff. There is this entire ecosystem of local talent making comics. And ComX was born. So that's pretty much how the main part of ComX was born. I created a part on that same site that has the shops. that lists and gives profiles to all people who will sign up for local talent. So it gives all their social media, little spiel about themselves, some examples of their art if they happen to be artists, a list of books they've worked on, all that sort of stuff. So it's very easy to see who they are and where they're from and get to their social media so you can contact them if you need to. So yeah, we're up to, I think, 130 something people have signed up for it so far. I want it to be a lot higher than that because I know there's a hell of a lot more talent out there than just 130 people.
Yeah.
So that's that site. When that site evolved 1 year ago, I was discussing with a group of people, how else can we help creators in Australia? What else can we do to help them, get promoted, get out there? And one of the people suggested that a lot of them can't publish themselves. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They just, it's too hard. So they just don't. So I went, okay, we'll make a publishing company where we give them an 8-page story to write and put it into a book for them, and we'll publish that book. And so Presents was born, and that was ComX Studio. So that's the publishing arm. And sometime in there, we went, well, can we make it easy to buy their books? And ComX Shop was born.
That is just
so yeah, that's the ComX Shop that you're just marketing, is where I get all different people give me their books. I stock them all here and I ship them out, like you said, one flat rate.
That is awesome, man. The whole country should be in so happy with you. Really, they should, That is just so cool.
As a cool side story, someone told me that the people in Adelaide knew who I was. So it's like, oh wow, they're starting to get ComX out there. People are starting to know who ComX is.
Yep.
So that's really cool. That made my day.
Yeah,
It's all got to start from somewhere. It's a slow process.
Exactly.
As long as we stick to it, hopefully we can get to that goal, or you can get to that goal, and everybody else gets the opportunity they deserve.
Yep, that's exactly right. I know that if I was a creator, this is something that I'd just absolutely be so thankful for.
Yeah.
So I'm about to do another sort of like a campaign to try to get back out there and get some more people who haven't heard of us to know about us and whack their names on that profile page so people can find them easier. And just because you can search it, you can do all sorts. You can search by just writers, you can search by just artists, search by name, state they're in. The idea of that was so that event organizers could say, who can we get at our event in Sydney? And they just press New South Wales, and it'll bring up everyone that's at least semi-close. Yeah.
And what's funny is that, pardon me, when you're a full-on Marvel or DC head, me, Marvel, you tend to ignore the indie scene because there's only so much that you can buy when none of us are rich. However, I've always loved the idea of supporting Australian comics. But for me personally, what really ramps it up for me that makes me want to do it is when I've actually met the people. And I don't mean physically, I mean online or on this show or watching your channel. For example, now that I know I've met Spedsy a few times, all I want to do is pick up all of his stuff, I've met Morgan once or twice. I want to read his stuff because you see these people and their personality that shines through, and you're like, if this is who you are in real life and on screen, then I can't imagine the imagination and the stuff that's pouring out of your brain onto the paper. So there's a lot that I need to buy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've only been supporting this stuff for probably 3 years I started the site, and probably 2 years I started supporting Kickstarters and picking up comics from places like I know there's more places that do it, so I hate that I only mentioned these two, but D's and Impact down in Canberra, I find the easiest to get indie stuff from. I know there's more comic shops that do it. I know that, say, like Greenlight, for example, they have a lot of Adelaide-based creators stuff. They don't necessarily get indie from other places, and I think other stores are the same. They're just the ones I happen to know the most. I now have 276 Australian comics now, which Apparently, it's impressive to some people. So I don't know, but for just occurring in 2 years. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I know All Star Comics here in Melbourne, which is located in the city. They have local comics there.
awesome.
Yeah. So that's really cool to see.
Yeah. Definitely a good store for it.
Yeah. So is there anything you want to show off on the website or anything like that?
Well, I could quickly show the shop itself, or probably the main one I'd want to show. Do you want me to show my screen?
Yeah, whatever you like.
It's actually
mate.
the one that comes up in the ad. It's the quickest one to. I'm forgetting how to share my screen. There it is. I haven't used the software for a month or so. So
It's like riding a bike, mate.
yeah, there we go. So that's the one that shows up in the little ad that you do for us. So thanks for that. But this is probably the best one. It's ComX, ComX.cx. And this is, have you ever heard of Linktree? Yep. This is like my own custom Linktree. So it's just, these are all these links. And then down here in the orange is explanation of all the the main sites and what they're about. And then some more links. So this is the place to go to learn everything about ComX that there is. So
Good looking site too.
yeah, so it's just a one-page site, and it takes you to all the different places.
Cool.
So, and then we've got links to these two resources: the Australian Comic Database, nothing to do with ComX, but it's a cool database of all Australian indie. And then there's the Australian Comics and Graphic Novels database for libraries, which are all the ones that are in libraries in Australia. So that's also a cool little database as well. So I put them in there as a bit of extra information for people who want to get into Australian indie.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's the main site I'd take people to. I'll quickly jump over to the site that started it all. And it was this page here that started everything. The comic shop directory.
There you go. There's All Star.
I don't know if I found them all. There might still be more out there because every now and again something will pop up and there's a new store that I've never heard of.
Yep.
But yeah, they are in alphabetical order.
That's Big City Comics from Footscray.
Yeah. I think one of the Comics R Us have closed actually, so I'll have to figure out which one and take that down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they've. That's what I heard. I'm pretty sure it was them.
Okay. I didn't know.
Consolidated into one shop. I'm not too sure which one though. And there's a few new ones there. It's sad when I have to take them off the list. I must admit, it is sad to know another shop's bit the dust. And there was quite a few of them during COVID, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But a few of them have been starting to pop up, so that's cool as well. So that's everything I found. If anyone knows of one that's not in this list, please let me know. There is a contact us page on the site. So this is comx.net.au.
Do they have to be physical shops?
They have to be physical shops, yeah. I'm trying to promote bricks and mortar. Internet shops are easy enough to find on the internet just by Googling. Physical stores usually only pop up if you're in the local area. So if you're trying to find a store in Melbourne and you can't find the comic you're after, you might want to see the one in Brisbane, and there's no way of doing that on Google. Even if you do Brisbane, it'll still give you a lot of stuff that's in your local area for some reason. So that's why I made this. Unless Google's getting better. 3 years ago, it was hopeless. It took me forever, a lot of talking to other people to find these stores.
I don't think you can go to incognito anymore.
No.
You can go into incognito, but you can't pretend that you're somewhere else unless you're using a VPN. Is that what they're called? Virtual private?
No. Incognito Comics.
Oh, sorry. Did I have that in there? Did I?
Yeah, because they're near me, and I used to go to them. And yeah, I assumed they closed.
Another one I've got to get rid of. That's so sad.
They're still around.
I don't think they closed, but they've stopped doing single issues.
Oh.
I don't think you can actually go in the store anymore. I think you can only get them online. I'm not 100%, but yeah, you should look into that because they're really
I'll ring them
friendly.
tomorrow and find out.
Yeah.
I'll ring him tomorrow and find out.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. The information off the show. Great stuff. Well,
the rumor that I heard that they were cancelling single issues, they're just going to get trades and omnibuses and stuff like that. So
they sent out an email to everybody.
Yeah.
Online only. I'll have to take them off then. Okay, fair enough.
Mm.
Well, at least they still exist. That's something.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I'll show off the other part, which is your local talent. These are names I came up with years ago. I don't know if they're the best names, but
yeah, no, I like it.
Alphabetical order, so that's all the A's. But yeah, you can pick this little button here, and it'll just show you the artists. I must have clicked something else then. Oh no, sorry. There's also one called Comic Artist. So they're artists.
Yep.
And these are comic artists, so a lot bigger list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that goes, I don't know how many pages of comic artists. Comic artists seem to be the most receptive to joining this, I've noticed, than, say, writers and so forth.
I wonder why writers wouldn't. You'd think...
I just think they're not hearing about me because we have got a show that's very artist-orientated.
Yeah.
So that could be all it is. I don't think it's any aversion to it. They just don't hear about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few names there that I've known for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some very good people in there. Very good people.
Yeah.
And I'd love to show the events part, but that got really slack during COVID and it stayed slack. So I won't show that off because it's missing a lot of events.
That's understandable, though.
It relies on people to submit and no one submits. So
yeah.
What can you do?
No, well, fair enough, mate.
And of course, the main one that I like to promote, the shop.
Yeah.
And there's that free indie comic I was talking about.
Yeah, sweet.
I'll bring that up so we can see it. ComX Shouts You and Aussie Indie Special. So it's got a paid and it's $0, so nice and cheap. So yeah. So that's one that we got it made about halfway through the day. We've been working on it for the last couple of weeks and it was finished halfway through Saturday. So
well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that down if you want. Do you want me to?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Yeah, pleasure.
If you are an Aussie comic creator and you want to be on some sort of a database so people can find you and not just have to deal with word of mouth, go hit up ComX and get on it. With that being said, let's continue the show.
Yeah.
Any more news, Mark?
Well, I did just want to talk about, let's head to Star Wars, shall we?
Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we got the Obi-Wan Kenobi coming.
Yes.
And stuff like that. How are you feeling how Disney Plus is going with these sort of shows and stuff like that? Because I do have an opinion, which I am liking them. But I'm just how do you like Boba Fett? Obviously, Mandalorian's great and stuff like that. So how do you think this is tracking really good?
You first, Shane.
Me first. Well, I'm very busy with comics, so I actually don't get to see any of these shows or any of these comics or any of these movies. So I'm the worst person to ask.
The reason why I told him to ask you is because I'm one of these, mate. I'm.
Okay. Well, when I had time, loved Star Wars, loved it. So
yeah. Don't get me wrong. Same. I do enjoy Star Wars, but I'm not one of these people that rush to go see Star Wars. So to answer your question, I did really enjoy Mandalorian. I haven't seen Boba Fett yet, but I am looking forward to Obi-Wan because I really like Ewan McGregor, and I love, and who doesn't like Darth Vader as a character? So more Darth Vader, the better. So yeah, I think I need to watch. I think I need to watch Boba Fett really damn soon.
it's a bit of a grind the first few episodes.
I've heard
The last two episodes don't really, apart from the last episode, I think the third last and the second last don't really have him in it. Apparently, it's only like 5 minutes screen time.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
They're the best episodes, to be honest. It
Makes
is
no
Mandalorian too, because he just steals the show. So, but
Yeah.
I was a Trek fan when I was Star Trek when I was a kid. I grew up loving it. I realised that it's gone a little bit. Nothing wrong with it. It's still the same. Just people have gone away from it. So I like the Star Wars universe, but I'm the same as you, Bo. I'm more of a Star Trek fan.
Yep.
But to me, Boba Fett wasn't great, apart from the bits that weren't about Boba Fett. I don't mind Boba Fett as a character. I love The Mandalorian. I'm looking forward to this series. As you said, Ewan McGregor. I don't know what they're going to do, if it's going to be any interesting. But me personally, as I am a Star Wars fan, I want a movie. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're going to do this stuff, let's get it in the cinema. I want to go in the cinema and sit down and hear that beautiful orchestra music with the words come up and tell you about the story. I want to sit there and experience that. I love what Disney's are giving this content, but for me, Star Wars, I want to go back to the cinemas and start watching it.
As long as there is streaming wars happening, which is going to be the next few years. No.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know. I miss going to see Star Wars movies. They used to be like one a year lately. So, but yeah.
It's funny, I don't know. I think it's an age thing, but I still get really surprised and shocked at when I see really great movies, like big budget movies, go straight to Netflix or straight to Disney. And it's like, obviously they work out how they make their money with instead of ticket sales and stuff. But
yeah,
I still can't get used to it, that there are so many movies these days that you don't need to go to the movies for. And it just shocks me, like we said the other day, they're making a new Aliens film and that's going to go straight to Hulu,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can list 100 movies that haven't gone to the cinemas, and it just shocks me. But that's the way the world's going.
Bit upset about that. I dare say Aliens on the big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, under the same effect, I guess I'll ask the question. So, if there was a movie, comic book character, let's just say MCU or DCU, or you could go both. What's a character that you don't think will get a movie, but you would like to see? And maybe pitch even a casting. Start with you, Shane.
Let me clarify.
I would like to see
Marvel or DC that doesn't get a movie or a TV show that would like to.
Yeah,
I think so. One that you don't think is going to happen in a movie.
Okay.
Or you think that should maybe, or whatever, but you're not sure if it'll ever happen.
Yeah.
Probably the easiest one for me is one of my favorite characters, Martian Manhunter. I don't feel he'll ever get a movie, but God, I would love to see one. Hell yeah.
I freaking love that one, Shane. I really love it. I love Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
You have seen the Snyder cut of Justice League, haven't you, though?
Yeah, but that's meant to be Green Lantern, but they wouldn't let him, so he threw him in there.
Yeah, I was just making sure that you've seen it, just in case.
I've seen it. It was cool. I like seeing him in there, but I read that he wasn't meant to really be there, and they threw him in there in the end just to fill a spot. And it's like, well, stuff you. So.
For me, this is a really hard one to answer because everybody that I think of that I really want, I think is going to happen. So off the top of my head, I'm going to go with Kazar, or as people say, Kazar, which is the Tarzan Marvel character. there's a few years ago, apparently Kevin Feige, somebody said Kevin Feige was a fan of that character and wanted to bring him in somehow. And, you know, if you're going to make Shang-Chi and you're going to make Eternals and these obscure sort of characters that, you know, even Guardians of the Galaxy, when that came out, things that you wouldn't think would make money, I don't see why they wouldn't try and make a Marvel Tarzan movie or show eventually either. You could have the whole Savage Land and Sheena, his wife, and their saber-toothed tiger. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So all right, we'll make it a little bit easier. So I'll put out one out there that probably could happen, but I don't think it will. But Luke Cage, I wouldn't mind a Luke Cage movie.
That's going to be tough after the Netflix, It
would be tough after Netflix. And see, this is what I reckon the casting, that would help. I've always said this. I know he's sort of got a funny persona behind him, but I reckon, what's his name again? He's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I just drew a blank.
I don't watch that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, neither do I. Sorry.
You're not talking about Terry Crews.
Yeah, Terry Crews.
Really?
Yeah, I drew a blank. I just drew a blank. Yeah, Terry Crews.
Terry
He's
Crews.
got a bald head. He's got the muscular figure. I mean, like, he can act like a badass.
Mate, I don't know because he's just been too funny for too many years. I can't picture anything else.
That's the hard part to get past. But yeah, another one. Obviously, I'd love to see is Iron Fist. Love to see a movie of that, like one where they really pour a bit of money into. Yeah, some good actors.
Comic book accurate.
Yes. And so if I had to go DC as well, I got heaps of DC ones that I'd love. But I would really love a Booster Gold movie. I really would.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, time travel. You know, it would be cool. If I had to cast, maybe Booster Gold.
Oh, God. That could be nearly anyone.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, yep. I would actually, and I thought of this one just today when I thought randomly in my head when I was going to ask this question. I would think, even though he's Thor, I would think he's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Because Booster Gold's a little bit of a screw up, a bit of a comedy relief guy. Chris Hemsworth's been good at that at Thor lately, and he's got the physique, the sporting physique, like he used to be a quarterback.
All right, I've got one.
Yep.
If I had to make a DC movie with a character that's never been in a DC movie, I would make a Guy Gardner movie. Because
nice.
Imagine making a Green Lantern movie where the guys are just a guy you just can't stand, you know? Because you've already had your Hal Jordan. I would put money on Jon Stewart and Kyle Rayner being in a movie at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But Guy Gardner, that would be you could almost make it. I wouldn't say comedy, but like, I'm trying to picture the genre, almost like an anti-hero hero comic angry person, you know, something that you just don't like.
It'd be sort of on the lines of Deadpool, but a bit more gritty.
Yeah.
It'd be Punisher with a bit of humor.
Oh, mate.
That good. Yeah.
That is something that I'm dying for now that you mentioned that. Punisher. Now that they've made the Netflix canon, I want James Berthenel, whatever his name is, the guy that played the Punisher, back in as the Punisher.
No, he was perfect. He was perfect in my mind.
Yeah.
You got anyone else, Shane, you reckon? Now you're thinking?
Oh, I've just been listening to you guys. I was going to say he's been in a movie, but I do find him a really interesting character when he's written well. Cyborg.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's already been in, but as a solo, I think they could make that really interesting. The angle they took in the movies, I'm not so keen on. I don't know if that's a new 52 thing because I know him from before that. I don't know if that's what he could, because he couldn't do all that stuff. The Cyborg I remember, with going onto the internet and all that, because I don't think there was such a thing as the internet when I read him. So that's how long ago I read Cyborg. So yeah, that would be really interesting, especially if you have some sort of, maybe at the end, some sort of hint to Teen Titans or something. I don't know.
Okay, what about this then?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as I don't know if it's your favorite character or if it's your second favorite, but you love Magneto.
Yes.
If Kevin Feige came up to you and said, Sizzle, you have been selected to pick the new MCU Magneto, who would that be?
Oh my god.
Putting you right on the spot there.
I wouldn't have a clue.
And Mark, while he thinks about that, who would you pick as the new Wolverine?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Wow.
100%.
Tom Hardy, yeah, that's a good choice. Magneto's a hard one.
It's also hard with Magneto because do you go with like the young version, that they've done lately, or do you go with like the classic older version?
You're gonna have to go with the
like
older
just going
one.
through everyone I know with grey hair, which is a really bad way to pick it.
You're gonna have to go with the older one, aren't you? Because Wanda's, they're supposed to be the children, aren't they? Or-
Actually,
Yeah. If you do MCU, it'd have to be an older version.
that's a good point.
I don't know. I really can't answer that. I don't know actors well enough. I just
Well, you think about that answer.
yeah. Well,
Mark, have you finished watching Hit Monkey on Disney Plus?
No, I'm halfway through. So,
Shane, have you heard of Hit Monkey?
someone was explaining it to me the other day, actually. But I can't remember what they were telling me. Oh, yes, I do remember what it's about. Yes, I won't go into it in case I get bits wrong, but it sounds friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
I pile drive through Hit Monkey and I loved it. I haven't been able to finish MODOK yet because there's only so much stop animation that I can watch in one go. But still, they're both very, very funny, especially Hit Monkey.
Yeah, I enjoy Hit Monkey. The first episode was really good. I like today because anime is sort of not my thing too much, but I am getting through this. It's easy to get through. It's an easy watch.
Yeah.
My very last Netflix series, now that it's on Disney, that I'm going through is Jessica Jones. I've gone through all the other ones. So I'm trying to power through that. I think I've got about a season to go.
Well, it's funny, Jessica Jones, because season 1 I really liked. Season 2 I wasn't that big a fan of, but season 3 I really liked. That has full.
Oh, okay.
So if I hold in there, because I'm not liking season 2 at all, but I love
like
season 1.
Yeah.
Love season 1.
Season 3 is great because Sizzle, you might know the character because he's an older character, Fool Killer. You ever heard of that one?
Doesn't ring a bell, sorry.
In the comics, Fool Killer is a man that kills fools. And
Oh.
Oh, you mean like full, like OOL?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hearing full as in FULL.
Yeah. Okay, that's a cool name.
In that case, I definitely don't know him.
Like a fool.
One of the most memorable comics I've ever read. And I'm pretty sure it was Spider-Man that convinced him. But he's trying to stop the Fool Killer the whole time. And then at the end of the issue, he convinces the Fool Killer that the biggest fool is himself. So the Fool Killer decides, I have to kill myself. And, Spider-Man has to stop him. Now, as stupid as a gimmick as this is, Fool Killer is the baddie in Jessica Jones season 3.
Sweet. I am looking forward to that. I'm going to power through it tonight.
It's a very realistic, different take.
Cool.
I don't even think they ever call him the Fool Killer from memory, but it's the same.
Okay.
But it's the same like alter ego,
Yeah.
And it's really good. Fool Killer's even had his own mini series a couple of times before.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I've got one of the trades. It only came
can
out a
look this
couple of
guy
years ago too. What else we got? Green Lantern: Beware My Power movie. Did you see that trailer? The DC animated movie?
No.
I hadn't seen that yet. I do remember it was sent to me.
No.
No, I hadn't seen it. No.
I wish I
Oh,
had.
okay. I think we're saying no.
I'm a
to
big
like
fan
it.
of DC animated, so that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Can we share the clip, or will YouTube crack it with us?
It's hard to tell. We shared stuff on our show and we got alerted for it. And then a few weeks later, they got taken off the penalties.
Yeah, we better not. If you want to check out the new Green Lantern movie, Google Beware My Power. It is the latest installment in the DC Animated Universe franchise. Speaking of that, I realized I forgot one that I never bought that came out recently, and that is Catwoman Hunted. Did you ever see that?
No, I didn't even know that came out.
Yep, that's only came out about a month or two ago. So I just went on JB and bought that because I have all of them on DVD.
Nice.
Yes, sweet.
Yeah, I'll let you know what that's like.
I did hear that production for the DC HBO Max live-action Green Lantern is set to start later this year in Los Angeles.
Oh.
So that's been a long time in the making.
Yeah, that has been.
It hasn't even started making it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Have we got anything else left?
ComX rocks. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I do want to remind everybody that coming up this Saturday night, which is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for this episode of AussieVerse. We have my favorite YouTube channel. I know I shouldn't say that. I should probably say it's AussieVerse, but this is a channel that I want. Your second favorite is Near Mint Condition. We have Omar joining us live from America. He's getting up extra early for us, especially. He's getting up at 8 a.m. to be with us while we are live. I think it was 10 p.m. for us. And I don't think he did it on purpose, but I did mention that May the 13th is my 40th birthday, and it'll be May the 13th for him. So I cannot wait, and I implore everybody to tune in this Saturday night because it's going to be a great episode where we get to chat all things collected editions and all things OmniBeau and everything about Near Mint Condition. We also have more shows coming up where Ryan got it in. Bryan Cranston as Magneto.
Yeah.
Different.
I can do it.
Bryan Cranston as anything. We do have more coming up. We have the part 3 of Through the MCU, which is going to be Iron Man 2. So watch out for that. The part 2 is coming out, I think in the next day or two, which is The Incredible Hulk. We have Omar coming this Saturday. We have Sharif's custom corner that has already been made. We're just going to upload that soon, which is anybody that wants to know about custom binding or custom bind books. Sharif is the man to go see that with. We have our Doctor Strange review that is coming out this Thursday with our brother from another mother, Ryan Moore, will be joining us. And we will then be back again next Monday for another live chat. And I want to thank you so much, Shane, for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Anytime you want, please come back on, my friend.
Will do.
Everybody,
Thanks,
please check out this link. Please check out this link. This one. This one. This one. This one. Don't forget, 400 subscriber giveaway. You want a $100 Amazon gift card? Then get your family to sign up and, just say, guys, I'm trying to win an Amazon gift card. Please like and subscribe, and we will catch up next week. AussieVerse is for life. That's right.
Oh, sorry, guys.